pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome everybody tonight on this hot night. Board members, make sure your mics are on so we can hear you. Our roll call tonight. John Daniel is absent. Excused. And now we're down to the approval of the agenda. Any deletions or additions? Okay, if not, the agenda stands as presented. Now we're down to our presentation. We have our auditor here tonight, Cambridge and Company, Mr. Peter Waldman. He has a small presentation for us tonight. Welcome.
Thank you. I'll start by briefly walking you through the report. First off, Kim's doing an excellent job with the books. And then we'll go to page 1. We'll look at the bottom paragraph there. That's the opinions paragraph. This is an unmodified opinion. This is the highest opinion that we can render as auditors. And then we'll turn to page 3. We'll go over the financial highlights. The township exceeded its liabilities at the close of the most recent fiscal year by $15,285,050. Of this amount, $9,821,043 represents unrestricted net position, which may be used to meet the government's ongoing obligations to citizens and creditors. Next bullet point. At the close of the most recent fiscal year end, the township's general fund reported a fund balance of $9,271,718. That's an increase of $694,720 in comparison with the prior year. Approximately 97% of that amount, or $9,036,941, is available for spending at the government's discretion, which is unassigned fund balance. Unassigned fund balance again is $9,036,941, which is approximately 410% of general fund expenditures, which means that the township could essentially run for roughly over 4 years before you needed to take in any more money at the current level of expense.
We'll go to page 6.
We'll highlight the unrestricted net position. So the second to bottom line, $9,267,648 of the governmental activities and $553,395 for the business type. You'll notice on there the current portion of long-term debt for the governmental activities is now 0. I believe that was the road contract we had with the county. Has been paid in full. Next page, page 7. We'll highlight the change in net position, so revenue minus expenses. Third to bottom line, positive $936,199 for the governmental activities, and a negative $33,907 for the business type. We'll go to page 9. Just a good chart to look at for where your revenues are coming from. As you can see, the landfill fees make up 66%, followed by state revenue sharing at 15%, and then the expense side, public safety at 45%, and general government at 33%. And then we'll get into the basic financials. Page 13. Again, we'll highlight the unrestricted net position with second to bottom line for the governmental activities. Positive $9,267,648, and then for the business type, $553,395. Next page, page 14. We'll highlight the change in net position, third to bottom line again. This is similar to an income statement, revenue minus expenses. For the governmental activities, a positive $936,199, and for the business type, a negative $33,907. We'll go to the next page, page 15. We'll highlight the unassigned fund balance of the general fund, third to bottom line, $9,036,941, and this is at 410% number, so assets minus liability. Skip a page, page 17. Change in fund balance for the general fund was a positive $694,720. So that's revenue minus expense. And then we'll get into the water and sewer fund on page 19. We'll highlight the unrestricted net position of the water and sewer fund as a positive $553,395. And that's on the second bottom line. Next page, page 20. We'll highlight the change in net position again, negative $33,907. And most of that is depreciation expense. You'll see that kind of in the middle of the report at $68,568. We'll kind of highlight that on the next page as well. Page 21. We'll look at the net cash provided by operating activities, the very bottom line. If your operating income and loss of a negative $31,515, and then you add back depreciation to get your operating cash flows and changing assets and liabilities for a positive $41,752. And if there's any questions, I'll try and answer those now. The rest of the report is just more detail.
All right, board members, any other questions for Peter on this? Del, do we post this online?
We do. We'll keep it in our board packet, and we can post it separate.
Mr. Supervisor, just for clarification, maybe the treasurer may know the answer to this as well. One of our bonds for the wastewater treatment plant, will that come to a conclusion next year or?
2018.
2 years.
18.
All right, any other questions?
You can find that on page 36, the long-term debt.
All right, if not, Peter, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your firm, and it's been nice working with you for the last few years. You've done a great job. Appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, down to public comment.
Okay, question. I see the library just put up a nice new sign up there. When are they gonna do something with the bypass, the southbound bypass on the road? They spend a lot of money on a sign and they seem to be ignoring that road problem. I know you guys don't handle the library, but this is just.
Well, we are working with the library, just that there's been two different figures that they presented to us, to answer you real quick. And so I know that it was a year ago, it was a year ago deal, I think they quoted us like $155,000. Library was gonna split it. And then all of a sudden, the engineering came in and said this year it jumped way up to 200 and something like
Well,
that.
it is in the plans.
It is in the plans, correct.
I just seen your
Yeah.
sign.
The county is looking at going back and trying to reconcile a difference.
It's a strange thing that that even happened in the first place, because, you know, you can't even open up a little roadside stand without having a bypass, and the library got away with it for years.
Right. All right, O'Neill.
Gary, the new asphalt looks good going through here. And who paid for the curbs for the asphalt pad in the township?
We did.
Did that ever go out for bid?
No, the county did that.
The county?
Yeah, the county did that. Curb and gutter, we talked about it, many times. What we were going to do as far as road projects in the past. Solicited in that.
This is probably the county calling right now.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, moving on down to the consent agenda, Mr. Winston.
I move that Salem Township approve the following consent agenda items. The minutes of July 14th, 2016, regular meeting of the Board of Trustees, as well as disbursements for July out of the general fund of $117,799.31. This is checks 26,186 through 26,240. Disbursements for the escrow fund, $36,110.90. Checks 1656 through 1600. We had a payroll of $60,751.02. It cost $193.64 from Paycor to do that. Out of the sewer fund, we had $6,364.11. Checks 1983 and 1984. We also had invoices for the month of August that will be paid out of the general fund of $262,167.21. Invoices for August out of the sewer fund will be $12,355.86. And lastly, invoices to be paid in August out of the escrow is $16,514. Second.
I'll second.
Conver seconds it. Any other discussion?
Just for clarification, Mr. Supervisor, Mr. Wensley, and his motion is July 14th for the regular meeting. It's July 12th.
Thank you. Stand corrected. Got that.
Okay, anything else? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is passed. Moving down to business items. Salem Farm Preserve, farm lease, Mr. Convers.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that Salem Township approve the opening of the bid process to extend the present farm lease for the Salem Farm Preserve for a new 3-year term with the option of extending that lease for one additional 3-year term.
AJ McLaughlin seconds it. Any discussion on this?
Just to say that in the past, this was a 1-year, carry over year to year to hit the demolition and the other stuff that Mr. Batiste was doing. But that is done, and we can now go ahead and make this for 3 years. And it can be extended for an additional 3-year after that.
All right, anything else? Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's passed. All right, down to the Chubb Road paving project, engineering services.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that Salem Township approve in the review of the 4 bids for the Washington County Road Commission as submitted for the engineering service for Chubb Road, and to approve the winning bid to Bergman for the amount of $135,000.
$134,950.
Okay, I'll second that. Discussion on this?
Okay, I'll start off, I gave Gary and I were at the opening of these bids by the Washtenaw County Road Commission. First off, we have to say that it is mandatory that this road has to be engineered before it can be, any construction can be done on it. And there was a lot more to this bid process than what we really realized. Initially, the Washtenaw County Road Commission was going to do the engineering on it, but they told us that would be a 3 to 4 year out in the time frame before they could get at it. We told them it was totally unacceptable. And part of Public Act 181 and 182, we could go back out for competitive bidding. And then they came back and said that they would actually then go back through and give out a list of their approved suppliers for the engineering firms to do the engineering. And we approved that they go ahead and do that, and that way we could get started on it next year. The engineering has to be done, hopefully, not hopefully, it has to be done starting this fall and immediately, so it's incumbent that we pass this motion and get this going tonight. The reason being is that there's a lot of work that has to be done, and there's a lot of things like trees and a lot of that stuff that has to be done prior to the process. We're off against the timetable because of that law. That law says that any tree that has to be removed or trimmed or whatever has to be done within a certain period of time frame, or it has to wait till the next year. And so this work has to be started and completed very early in the spring, before the bats start to migrate back. And so that's kind of why the timetable is what it is. The other thing of it is that we sat down with them and they went through and I put in, I gave you some loose sheets. I just got these this afternoon. I asked Mark to send us their evaluation. The group from the engineering sat down with all four of these bids and estimates, and they ranked these as to what they felt their strengths and their weaknesses were. They ranked them, and then they give us a ranking in which they feel would be the best system or best business to pursue. And out of those, I gave you Mark just sent me his notes, and on that, they rated Bergman as number 1 with 475 points. The FTCH was at 457.5. Then the HRC was at 385, and the last one, RNS, was down at 365. But the interesting thing of it is that these, and this was not driven by cost at the time, but the highest ranked supplier happens to be the cheapest one. So that, to me, a good one. The thing that they really felt between the two of them, there was FTCH and Berkman. Both of them really had their strong suits. Bergman, their claim to fame, if you read through the brochure, the literature that was in the packet, their strength was dealing with the railroads. We have a railroad crossing between 5 and Chuck. They call it a vertical curve, but it's an elevation, is not up to spec. Surfaces have to be raised, and there's other areas that have to be lowered to get the surfaces correct. And they're an expert in dealing with the railroads, coordinating with the railroads. And from some of the other meetings that Gary and David and I went to when we were talking about sewer, trying to work with those railroads is challenging. And so their feeling was that is one of the strong suits for having Bergman do it. The other company was the FTC&H. Their strong suit was in the wetlands, the issues that we are facing when we go down and look. I mean, 5 Mile goes through a marsh. It's actually through a peat bog. So it is relatively important that that be done and done right. But Stantec is a subcontract to this FTC. Stantec is our engineering firm. So they came back, and so we're kind of partial, and I've got kind of my arm twisted to go with them. But quite frankly, Stantec's price come in twice as much as FTC, FTCH came in twice what Bergman's done. It's not, I'm not gonna say that we're in a position here to say Bergman isn't capable of doing that, but that's, seemed to be in their write-ups, that was not their strong suit. So there are two different strong suits, but we really feel that in going through that, there's no real reason to say that one has to be over the other, and it's kind of left up to the board decision on how we want to do it. The R&S and the HRC were not rated nearly as high. They were a lot more expensive. It's like $135 versus $330,000 for an R&S. And there wasn't really anything that we were buying. We got anything more than what we would be getting from somebody else. So with HRC and R&S, basically, we felt was not in the run. So it really comes along to that. So relative to the cost, relative to the speed, and they also come with very good credentials. I mean, if you read their material in there, you can see that they come with a lot of good expertise in that area. And railroads is where they really specialize. So they called out a lot of the meetings that they would be having with them, coordinating plans and all that kind of stuff. So it is good. The other thing that I like about Bergman, and if everybody can remember, I put a little word in the Messenger last spring about the roads, and they have a new process that I am aware of, and that's called concrete surface base, whatever, but there's different names for it. But basically, it's a ground-up semi-concrete base that they put down. They even mentioned in the Bergman report that allows for the thinnest amount of asphalt that goes on top of it. And the asphalt is what is expensive on paving the road. So I feel very strongly that that's the way to go. I also talked to Stantec about this concrete base, and he was not very familiar with it, and kind of tried to talk me out of doing it. So that was the other reason why I'm very strongly leaning towards Bergman, because they do give the positive and negatives of each and every one of the different types of bases. And
Of course, the county, just to add to it, the county highly recommends that too. They've
Yes.
done projects, and I think in that information shows some of the projects that they have done with the county, so they're just not fly-by-nights coming off the street. And again, this is to address the issue with the Chubb Road, some of the issues that we've had with the dust and the problems that are going down there, and also trying to help create a truck route to send down. This is also doing the 5 Mile corridor between Chubb Road and Napier Road. So that whole L section will be addressed. And then as we move down to after the next motion is about, who's paying for all this. And that's where we're going to talk about asking our legal counsel, Jerry Fisher, to, he has done special assessments before to the business owners and the people who live on Chubb Road there, the businesses, to participate in this special assessment and how to go about proceeding with it. So this $135,000 plus doing the road would be wrapped up into a special assessment for that project. So a time is the essence. If we're gonna get this thing done next year, we do have to get moving on it. Any other questions on this?
I've got just a few. If we were to grant this contract to Bergman, when would they start on engineering? Would it be a year out, or would it be a?
It would be now.
Probably now, August to September, immediately.
So as of right now, it's out of our packet to pay for the engineering, and then we're assuming we're gonna get reimbursed from it by a special assessment.
Correct.
Would it not be more sense to have a special assessment already kind of working before spending these monies, and not really being sure that this might come to life?
If we do that, we will delay the project 1 year.
And what about property owners? Have any mentioned or any comments back from non-business owners, property residents, and their concerns on the assessment itself?
I know Dale has talked to a few, I have talked to a few myself, and realizing that it's gonna improve their properties. Even some people who own property that's vacant that don't have it, is for this project to get done.
To put it in perspective, in one of I think it was Bergman, that was Stantec that put it in there, the actual vehicle count for Chubb Road is about 1,220 vehicles a day. And the past numbers that I had for 5 miles between Chubb and Napier was 1,550 vehicles a day. Which means that almost all of the traffic that was traveling on 5 Mile there is really going down Chubb. So this is a major corridor that, I think it's safe to say that the township is probably going to have to help in on special assessment as well. It may not be all funded 100% by the owner. We may have to pony up some too, which in my mind is good, because there's other traffic that uses that road just other than the truck traffic.
I have a couple questions, Mr. Supervisor. First one is, since Washington County Road Commission facilitated the bid process, are we signing a contract with the road commission, or are we signing a contract directly with whoever we selected with the engineering?
So road commission.
Since you gentlemen have the opportunity to be at the bid opening, is there any concerns from Washington County Road Commission as to the number of hours that Bergman has allocated for this project compared to the friendly competition? The fact that they're 50% less compared to firms that we know, not only our own consultants, but other consultants that we know folks utilize in the Metro Detroit area, that those folks budgeted twice as many hours. Is there any concerns about cost overruns, that they underbid this project to get their foot in the door with Washington on?
I'm glad you asked that question, because that was my major question. Brian Simons from Stantec was whispering in my ear, well, they're just gonna pad it. He was trying to make a case for their estimate. So I specifically asked the Washington Road Committee, when we were met with them, is this a firm number? Can they come back in and pad it later on? And they told me specifically that's a firm number. So what you see is what we're supposed to do.
Pending approval by this board, at what point would a contract be provided to us that supervisor and legal counsel could review?
Pass it this evening, we will pass on, I told Mark, I will give him the word tomorrow morning, and Bob will get rolling. I can't tell you exactly when that contract, but it will be forthcoming shortly. But I don't know how short it is.
this, as long as we either add to the motion or have the understanding that any contracts would be reviewed by legal counsel before the supervisor signs off on it. And we want to make sure that if you ask at the bid opening meeting that we're not going to get stuck with a bunch of cost overruns because they underestimated this project. I concur with you, the credentials look outstanding, they've got a lot of expertise with railroad crossings, but the fact that they are projecting that this thing is half of what the friendly competition thinks it is cause for concern.
I believe though, wasn't that addressed that they were very aggressive after this because they wanted the project and the county was, seeing that they wanted it, and the county has worked and they showed us all these other projects they've done with the county, so there was something that between the county and them also,
There was
very aggressive.
There was some hours that were presented before we went to the meeting, and then they gave us, in fact, I don't remember seeing them. But then they revised those hours down before we had the opening of bids at the county. And what happened was that they said Bergman does not have any contracts in Washington County. They want to get their foot in the door here, so they're willing to make a good deal so that they make sure they get the contract to get into the county. So that was kind of the way it was.
Yeah, I thought they had already done projects in the county.
So Dale, can we add, at the end of this motion with contract review from our legal counsel?
Yes.
Okay, you want to restate that, Dale?
Okay. Move to review the 4 bids in Washington County as submitted for the engineering services for the Chubb Road projects and to approve the winning bid to Bergman for $134,950 with contract review with legal counsel.
The last motion.
All right, that's the motion. I'll second it. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's passed. Okay, moving on down, motion on the special assessment district. I move that Salem Township approve extending the professional counsel services of legal counsel Jerry Fisher for review completion of the special assessment district for Chubb Road paving project in the amount not to exceed $10,000. Second on this?
I'll second that.
Any other discussion on this? Okay, if not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's passed. All right, moving on down to budget amendments. Mr. Winslow.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that Salem Township approve the following cost center budget amendments for the fiscal year 2016 and 17. I did make a change to the number. We are going to set aside a unique number just for the Chubb Road paving project. So this will be 101.401.801.100. And this will be entitled Chubb Road paving project. And this will still fall under the engineering services. The budget, as of this point, for this particular number, of course, is 0. we will add $135,000 to the revised budget. Then the second, other consultants, 101.404.801.013, which is called other consultants. The budget is $2,000 currently, and we will revise it to $12,000. So these two offsets will be charged against the contingencies line item 101,956,821.000 in the total amount of $145,000. Do we have a second for these amendments?
Support.
Any other discussion, board members? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's passed. Down to planning and zoning. P.J. McLaughlin.
Motion to approve the amendment for accessory structures. I move that Salem Township approve the amendment of the attached zoning ordinance, accessory structures, 2016-08-09-01.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
So the planning commission had updated the zoning ordinances in the last few years, and since they did, several residents have had to go before the zoning board of appeals for mainly a front setback requirement for accessory structures, pole barns, that they wanted in front of the front corner of their house, which is the front setback. So in order to save residents money and time, because it's $500 to go before the ZBA, the planning commission revised that. It provides additional requirements if the accessory structures are in front of the front setback, but it gives the residents more freedom. There also is an addition where they allow one more accessory structure on properties that are smaller in acreage, like less than 2 acres. Before it was only one accessory structure was allowed. So they also wanted to put that to 2, since really a lot of residents already have 2. And they did put some square foot, we put some square foot restrictions on the accessory structures on smaller lots. Anyone have any questions?
Supervisor, TJ, going forward then would, people that are looking to build accessory structures, just go through the zoning department for administrative approval, or would some of these still have to end up potentially going through the ZBA?
Well, they can go, come into the building department if they have their plan, then they can see if there's something that they still would have to go before the ZBA, or if everything can be met administratively because it falls under the zoning ordinances. It's, we have a lot of properties where they're irregularly shaped. Some people's houses, the houses are in the back of the property, like mine.
But you had to pay.
And we had to pay. Yeah, we were one of them. So it's hard to expect, if someone's house is 800 feet off the road, it's already not being seen, and they want to put a barn somewhere between their house and the front of the road. But there is still restrictions here. They require either screening, or if there's natural screening in place, that the materials are consistent with what's in the area, so that it meets aesthetics if it is in front of the house.
Okay, anybody else? Any questions? All right, if not, maybe we should take a roll call on this.
Converse,
Yes.
Yes.
McLaughlin,
Yes.
Trent,
Yes.
Lindsley, yes, and Whitaker?
Yes. Okay. Motion's passed. All right, down to the reports. Have been submitted. Now to the fire department. Chief Rocco.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Just a couple things I want to go through real quickly. We had 42 calls in the month of July, most of them were medical. The most notable calls that we had were, we had a fatality just recently on M14 at Goppertson. We had a 2-year-old male seriously injured on a go-kart accident. And then we've had a couple calls over here to the Salem School. If you haven't seen it, they're doing a lot of major construction, nothing big other than that gas line. We don't believe that was their fault. We did also have a potential structure fire where people were burning trash near the structure. If you look at your burn ordinances, you need to be away from your structures when you're burning. This got out of control and almost caught their house on fire. So luckily we were able to get there before that the fire hit the structure. You'll notice in September we've got our physical scheduled for the firefighters. That'll be the 14th and 15th. Probably early in the day of the 14th and maybe in the 13th, you'll see probably an RV show up here where we'll be doing the physical. So that'll be parked somewhere out in our back parking lot during that event. Other than that, I would just remind folks that we're still having challenges finding people's addresses. So again, I encourage you to get the green signs and put those out there. We also have a number of residents that share driveways or have mailboxes in front of their houses. And it's pretty difficult to find out which one of your houses when you got 4 or 5 mailboxes on one driveway. So again, help you guys in an emergency, try to get the house so it's easily seen from the road. That would help us a lot more effective and quickly get to the house that has the issue. Other than that, does the board have any questions for me?
Okay, thank you, Chief. I appreciate that. All right, down to board discussion. Land Preservation Conservation Board. I know last month we got a copy of the ordinances, each board member. Feedback has been some good information. I've talked to Sue Beejan, who chairs that person, and we kind of decided that it would be good to maybe have the board and their board meet together on one of their regular scheduled meeting nights to discuss moving forward. So she's kind of agreed to that. The board members have agreed to that. So right now it's tentatively scheduled for their next scheduled meeting in September. So there will not be a meeting this month, but it will be scheduled in September. So that's the latest on that. You know, it's on the website, but it's always these, I can't remember, third Wednesday? Or Tuesday? I don't know. Check the website, it's on there. All right. Anything else on that? Okay, down to public comment. Mr. Horton.
You know, I was on one of the people on Chubb Road. I've got a question. We got about 14 people on Chubb Road that actually would be able to spend money in a special assessment district. Now, a couple, 2 or 3 of them own a considerable amount of land. Two people own the property on one side, that Jackie's Trucking Callow on one side, and then R&R Heavy Haulers and Irwin own a huge chunk. Now, if you go around on 5 Mile, you've got the golf course, and you've got advanced recycling, and I don't know what that one part is. It was where the old trailer park was supposed to be, and I don't know who that belongs to. And then you've got Edison on both sides down in the swamp, and then the young fellow right at the end of Chubb Road. There's not a lot of people for a special assessment district. For the amount of money that he's gonna spend, it's gonna put, I don't mind, but it's gonna put the hurt on a guy who's got 800 or 900 foot of road. You know, it's gonna be a costly deal through that swamp too, because when we were trying to get the Robinson Road extension on there, the county wanted that Class A road through that swamp, and it was such a, everybody backed out. We actually had a chance to give Robinson Road extension, but it was kind of put the kibosh on by somebody that's not here no more. Also, I wanna commend you folks on the fact that this road's here. It's beautiful, nice for the town, for the village, and our tax dollars are going to something that you can see, rather than lawyer fees.
Mr. Supervisor and board members, on the June meeting, I requested to have the approaches on Trevor Road, north and south, from Sun Mountain inspected. It's twice as bad now. There are holes 2 foot wide, a foot deep. I measured them on the way over. So I'm waiting to find out what's gonna happen in that area. You know, it's an accident waiting to happen, and also for emergency trucks going down that road. It's just waiting, something's gonna get hurt. And also on this, Trevor Road paving, what's the life expectancy on this road, since you're gonna go with concrete base, more asphalt, the heavy trucks going up and down that road? And what's the long time warranty on it, and who's gonna pay for it?
Okay, anybody else? Sherry?
Hi, Sherry Meyer. What was, for Tub Road, what was the ranking criteria? I didn't hear it stated, was quality involved? And is there a guarantee for the road before they have to start working on it to fix it?
The ranking on that was professional qualifications, that was the number 1. Number 2, past performance in similar projects. And the number 3 was proposed work plan. Proposed work plan.
Work. And was there any guarantee before they had to start
No,
working on it?
that would not be part of, that would be more in the construction, the engineering, we'll get into that with the engineers.
Thank you.
Good point.
Okay, anybody else? Ken?
Yeah, Gary, are they, on 5 Mile Road, they're gonna put 6 inches of limestone on where they just cut all that down?
Yeah.
What about the trees that are hanging low? They're already hanging low. If I go by there with a hay wagon, a kicker wagon, I'm knocking bales off. Now they're gonna raise it 6 inches.
Right.
And I go down there with my sprayer, I knock my GPS globe off. Because the branches are hanging too low. Same thing on Tower Road by the cemetery, right? People are saying they're really low. They're gonna do something about that. Is this something we gotta deal with the county on, obviously?
Yeah, it's the county, but I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, 'cause I try to take the dirt roads all the time to stay off the road because I get the number 1 finger all the time, man. I'm number 1 no matter where I go.
All right, anybody else? All right, just a couple comments about the roads. I didn't get a call today from Roy Townsend, who runs the road commission. There's some road closures that are coming up about inspection on culverts. These are gonna be, roads are gonna be closed for a long time, it looks like, and I'll get more information about it, but we're gonna have to figure out a way to communicate. So right now, they're talking about Chubb Road going between 6 and 7, just north where that culvert is, north, that's failing. So they'll be closing the road. I don't know how soon, but has to be addressed and fixed, but they're not giving any timeline how long that's gonna be closed. The other is 5 Mile Road, which is interesting you mentioned, it would be west of Curtis, where they are doing the project, where we're taking our funds and redoing that road, between 5 and Tower. There's a culvert in there, so that's gonna be closed for a period of time. And then,
he there was one other one he looked, but he wasn't sure how long it was supposed, so they're gonna send us some media information on that, but them are two that I know for sure that's going to affect a lot of people, so we gotta figure out how to get the word out on these. And then how we're gonna deal with it, so, Kim?
The culvert on 6 Mile, or Chubb Road between 6 and 7 Mile,
Right,
that was just replaced
yeah.
just a couple years ago because the water washed it out. So they have
Now, I
to,
think there's a couple on that road, I'm not sure which one you're talking about they replaced.
at
but,
Johnson Creek, or,
Yeah,
There's one just north of 6 Mile.
yeah.
I see big poles coming coming up to 6
Right.
Mile, that's why I'm asking you.
Right,
Cause that was just replaced like 2 years ago,
yeah.
but it could be because of all the trucks that go down our
Right.
street.
Okay, anyway, thanks everybody for being here tonight. Yep, Ken?
On the,
What was
farm
the other
lease
one?
for bids, when does that go off for bids? When's that gonna start?
I think it should be in a week or so, we should put it together and get it out, we'll let you know.
Is that gonna start at the end of the year? I mean, is that something that whoever wins the bid, if it's something different than the guys, that Dennis is farming now, is that something you can get in there when they get the crop off?
Right, I would say,
And, you know, if you're gonna plant wheat or have it, soil sand, to know what it's lacking.
right. All right, everybody, thanks for coming tonight, stay around and enjoy the refreshments.